in Washington, this is VOA News. I'm Frances Alonzo reporting. Malaysia Airlines has formally declared the disappearance of last year's flight MH370 to be an accident, meaning the 239 people on board the flight are now presumed dead. Malaysia's civil aviation chief made the televised announcement Thursday.
After 327 days and based on all available data as well as circumstances mentioned earlier, survivability in the defined area is highly unlikely. It is therefore with the heaviest heart and deepest sorrow that on behalf of the government of Malaysia, we officially declare Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 an accident.
The aviation chief went on to say that the investigation into the cause and location of the accident are ongoing. And now to Indonesia, where aviation officials there say an AirAsia Flight 8501 that crashed into the Java Sea last month ascended steeply, then stalled and hurtled toward the sea with the co-pilot at the controls.
Istilahnya second in command sebagai pilot.
At a news conference Thursday, investigators from Indonesia's National Transportation Safety Committee said the plane's voice recorder indicated that the Airbus stall warning came on during the plane's ascent and continued until it made impact with the water. An audio message purportedly from a Japanese journalist being held by the Islamic State militants said a Jordanian Air Force pilot, also captured by the group, would be killed if Amman does not hand over a female suicide bomber by sunset Thursday. Authorities in Japan and Jordan are trying to verify the new audio recording. This is VOA News. The border between Israel and Lebanon was calm Thursday, a day after clashes there left 2 Israeli soldiers and a United Nations peacekeeper dead. Wednesday's fighting began with the Lebanon-based militant group Hezbollah using rockets to attack an Israeli military convoy along the border. Israel responded with airstrikes and shelling. After a closed-door briefing on the situation, the United Nations Security Council condemned the killing of the Spanish peacekeeper. Spain's ambassador to the UN, Roman Arzun, said his government wanted a full investigation and blamed Israel for the peacekeeper's death.
Well, I think I made it clear it was because of this escalation of violence, and it came from the Israeli side.
Again, that is Spain's ambassador to the UN, Roman Arzun. The international organization Human Rights Watch says world governments make a serious mistake when they sacrifice human rights in the name of tightening security measures. In its annual review of global human rights released Thursday, the group said Nigeria, Iraq, Syria, Israel, and the United States are among the nations using security concerns to justify the violation of human rights. The United Nations Children's Fund says nearly 250,000 children in several states in Myanmar remain in need of humanitarian support. VOA correspondent Steve Herman reports.
The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, says Myanmar, North Korea, and the Philippines are its funding priorities in Asia this year. Carmen Van Hees is UNICEF's emergency advisor for the East Asia Pacific region.
You have challenges on access because emotions run high. We need to remind everyone that we are there providing life-saving support. We do not take sides.
This is all part of a global appeal totaling $3.1 billion. The organization says the money will be used to assist 62 million children in target countries. Steve Herman, VOA News, Bangkok.
The World Health Organization said Thursday that efforts to slow the worst-ever outbreak of Ebola have shifted to a focus on ending the epidemic after the number of new cases fell to its lowest weekly level since the end of June. A total of 99 new cases were reported last week in the most affected countries of Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone, according to new WHO figures. Sierra Leone saw a huge reduction with 65 new cases last week. In Liberia, there are 4 new cases last week, down from a high of 300 per week in August and September. An overloaded fishing boat carrying migrants to Malaysia sank in strong currents off the coast of Bangladesh. Dozens are reported missing. Emergency workers rescued 32 passengers in the Bay of Bengal. More than 70 people were heading out to sea when their boat sank Thursday about 2.5 kilometers offshore. I'm Frances Alonzo in Washington.
That's the latest world news from VOA.